Celebrating the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life with Sterling Fox on AM 650.
Welcome back to Boomer Life here on AM 650. Today we're talking about the dramatic effects of hearing loss and the solutions you'll find with Next Gen Hearing and Mainland Hearing. Our guest in studio, Dr. Ted Venema, audiologist with Next Gen and Mainland Hearing, and a fellow who's conducted more than a few hearing tests in his career, I'll tell you. I, on the other hand, have only ever had one in mine. It's still very fresh in my memory. It was just a few weeks ago. We were talking about the hearing test and those the tones.
Yes.
And you spent a great deal of time explaining how you check and then double check the low end of our hearing abilities, and you mark that on the charts.
Yeah.
Do you do the same with the other, swing the pendulum the other way and find out that pain threshold where we have to turn it down? Yeah.
That's the best part. No, actually, we don't spend as much time examining that, but here's where we do. The speech testing, there's 4 different speech tests, and we talked about one of them just in the last segment.
The clarity of the words, right.
One of the speech tests is called your most comfortable loudness.
Okay.
And I'll talk into your right ear first, and I'll have you tell me whether my voice is comfortably loud or
okay.
And you indicate, well, that sounds good, the Goldilocks zone.
Sure, right.
Just right. And then I mark that down, and then I do the same with the left ear. It's most comfortable loudness test.
Okay.
Then I will do what's called an uncomfortable loudness test. And I tell the person, I'm going to start getting my voice louder and louder and louder. What I want you to do is listen as long as you can until you think I've reached a level you wouldn't want to listen to for any length of time.
Right.
Now hang on. Don't raise your hand when I'm just a wee bit louder than you like. On the other hand, don't let me make your ear bleed.
Right. Yeah,
Raise your hand when you think I've reached a loudness that you wouldn't want to listen to for any length of time. When I reach that, put your hand up and I'll shut my face.
Right.
Now, so I'll start talking and I'll gradually raise it louder and gradually raise it louder. And all of a sudden,
Enough.
Most people raise the hand when the decibels get to be around 90 to 100 decibels.
Okay.
Now, so will a normal hearing person.
Sure.
Guess what? The ceiling of loudness tolerance is quite similar for normal hearing and for hearing impairment.
Isn't that interesting?
Quite similar. The only one who has an abnormally high loudness tolerance is a kid with an earache because he's got a plug in his ear, doesn't he? He's got pus infecting.
Of course.
But an elderly person has no ear infection, but guess what? The ceiling of loudness tolerance is almost identical for hearing loss as it is for normal hearing.
By the way.
Yet the floor is elevated.
That's right.
That's the kicker.
The kid with the problem, by the way, Dr. Ted, isn't the kid with the earache. The kid with the problem is the one sitting beside me on the SkyTrain yesterday, and I can hear every note of every song that kid is listening to on his earbuds.
Guess what?
And I'm going, why aren't you weeping? I can hear it, and I'm sitting beside you.
You know what? He's going to be my next client. Because that's the second most common cause of hearing loss is noise-induced hearing loss.
Interesting.
And guess what? It's nerve. It's inner ear. It's untreatable.
Is that right?
It's permanent.
Wow.
That's what we should talk about on our next segment.
Okay.
Our next radio show.
Absolutely.
Noise-induced. That's a nasty one because it's entirely preventable.
Right.
And the sickening thing is we don't stare at the sun. We all know you're going to burn out your eyes.
Yeah.
But we don't think the same about ears.
Isn't that interesting?
So, yes, if you can hear someone's headphones and you're not listening to the headphones, be assured that guy's blasting his ears to kingdom come.
And by the way, fellow boomers, Dr. Ted and I are both charter members of this particular cohort. And do recall, it's not just the kid on the SkyTrain sitting beside me. It's Ted and I as kids in the concert featuring distortion and feedback by Lord only knows who on stage. And we were just the happiest guys in the room. So our generation has had our fair share of noise induction over years.
What a whole lot of love.
All the more reason, exactly, all the more reason to get a hearing test.
Yeah.
And again, I can't repeat this enough times. Hearing tests are free.
I know.
They cost you absolutely
Nada.
nothing. It'll take you 30 to 45 minutes. You'll be dealing with a professional who has nothing but your interest and time on his hands.
Yep.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's not a bad gig. It's something to check out. Now, we were talking about that loudness test.
Yes.
Okay. The interesting thing is, so someone with hearing loss, nerve hearing loss, they take more decibels to just barely hear a sound.
Yeah.
But yet their ceiling of loudness tolerance hasn't changed. Now, we call that their hearing room, their dynamic range, their range of hearing. Hearing aids have to take that into account.
Oh.
Hearing aids have to amplify soft sounds by a lot, average sounds by less, and loud sounds by little or nothing at all. That's called compression.
Okay.
And hearing aids have that. That's built in to hearing aids so that they know how much to amplify depending on the loudness of the sound coming in.
Right, and
that's the advances we've made.
I was just going to say, and I suppose, and you used to work for the largest
Yes.
hearing aid company in the country, but now that's probably 10, 20 years ago.
That's right.
So the advances in
Yes.
technology since you were
Yes.
working inside the industry
Have really
must be
come
just dazzling.
phenomenal. It's one of the most active electrical engineering feats going on, and hearing aid companies are intensely competitive.
Yes.
There's only about 8 or 9 of them, and every half a year a new product is coming out, a whole new digital platform. So hearing aids have directional microphones to pick up sounds in the direction you're facing.
Right.
They have digital noise reduction to handle background noise. They've got peripheral devices that stream with Bluetooth to your television,
Right.
to your iPods, iPads, iPhones. And they have compression that they amplify soft sounds by a lot and loud sounds by little or nothing at all.
And each hearing aid is capable of being customized to the needs
yeah.
of the wearer.
They always are. You have a hearing loss, what we were talking about, your hearing test. We make the hearing aid deliver a mirror image of that.
Right.
So if you have good bass and poor treble, that's exactly what we make the hearing aid do. We make it deliver very little bass and lots of treble.
Right.
So we sculpt or shape the sound coming out of the hearing aid to fit your particular hearing levels. That's why hearing aids don't just make all sounds louder.
Well, I was just going to say that.
Like glasses, they take a prescription.
Well, you watch some of these infomercials on late night TV, and it's the couple, and he's got some kind of hearing issue, so he's got an earplug and some kind of device that goes around his neck,
Right.
and it's kind of like a mic. It picks. All he's doing is picking up the sound from the TV and amplifying
That's right.
it into that earplug.
That's right.
And the ad, of course, is he's not disturbing his wife and running the TV at bleed
That's
level,
right.
so nobody could sleep.
That's right.
So isn't that an amazing advancement?
We've come a long way. And it's baby, it is phenomenal what's all been going on.
But that's just a loudness device. That's not shaping sound
No.
or anything. That's just
Well, that guy, now hang on, that guy, it depends on what you're paying for. You see these $25, $50 hearing aids. All those are doing is amplifying bass.
Gotcha.
By the way, you get what you pay for.
All right.
Okay? Hearing aids that are worth their salt shape and sculpt the sound. And they work with Bluetooth, and they have directional microphones and digital noise and all that.
all right. And to add to that, however, just to take away from that sentiment of you get what you pay for, if, however, you pay nothing and you get a hearing test.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Bargain of the week.
And you get a 21-day Better Hearing Challenge. You can try hearing aids at no cost for 21 days.
NextGenHearing.com and MainlandHearing.com. Lots of information for people who need to learn about hearing issues. Dr. Ted Venema, great to see you again.
As always.
I look forward to another
You bet.
opportunity to talk.
We'll talk to you in May.
And we'll see you next time right here on Boomer Life.